Hi and welcome to another 5-minute tutorial, and this time I will go through the power node or the power in the math node, because that is one of the most useful things that exist when you create patterns or material. And it has two main purposes which I will show right now. So I will add an input texture coordinate, so Shift A, input texture coordinate. And then I can just add a noise texture. So Shift A, texture and a noise texture, and take the UV to the vector and the factor to the base color, and it looks like this. However, if I now put in a power node here, I can change the contrast. So Shift A, and then I go to converter, math, and change add into power. And if I have a low exponent here, it gets more and more white. And if I have a high exponent, you can see that the contrast increases between white and black. So why is it like this? Well, if we look a bit how power works, then it's so that it takes the base value times the amount you have in exponent. So let's say that we have 2 here. If I have 2 here, then it takes base, which is 0.5 in this case, and multiply with 0.5. So in this case it will be 0.25, so it really goes down. If the base should be like 3 instead, then it would use 3 times 3, since it's 2 times you should multiply the base with itself, and then you get 3 times 3, which is 9. So in this case it increases. So everything between 0 and 1 will have a decreased result. Everything above 1 will have an increased result. So let's take this with 0.5 again, and then you can see we get some gray here. And if I increase the exponent, you can see that it really decreases quickly. But if I put 0.95, then you can see it's still almost white, and even if I take it up really high, it takes a long time for it to go back to black. So that means that everything that is close to 1 will stay almost white for a longer time, and the thing that is closer to 0 will very quickly go to black. So it increases the contrast. So that is really good to use when you would like it to do like that. The other thing power is really good for is to change the pattern, and I will show you how that works as well. So I can make this UV first. So right now we have this, and I would like the center point to go up here, and I can use a subtract and multiply that I normally do, but I can do another way this time. So Shift A, go to converter, and I can use a map range instead. And the map range can be changed into vector. So if I take the UV to vector, we have from 0 to 1, but we would like to have it from -1 like this into +1. And if I do it like that, you then get from -1 to +1, and then we can add an absolute here. So Shift A, converter, and vector math, and we change it to an absolute. And then we have something that we can play with when we separate the x and the y. So now I go into this absolute and I write separate x, y, z, put that in, and now we have x that looks like this, and we have a y that looks like this. And what I would do now is that I will put in a power node on both of these, and I will have input value. So Shift A, input value, that I take to the exponent here. I can put that to 1 first of all, and then I will add these two together. So I take this power, I just duplicate Shift D and put this here, and then I just add it together like this. And to see something more clearly, I do a less than here. So Shift D to copy this one, and then I can just put this to less than 1 like this. And now you can see we get the perfect diagonal here. But with the power, we can change the shape very easily. So with 2, you have a circle. And if I put in like 100, you have a square. So by using this, you can then control the pattern here very easily, like this. And then that means that we could use this combined with, so we can use the same math node and then combine different patterns with each other to make circles or to make diagonals or squares or whatever with this power node. So it's really versatile and you can use it to a lot of stuff. And I can do just that I combine this in a very simple way. So if I take everything from these separated value like this, and just press Ctrl G to make a group out of it, and then take the exponent in here, so we have it instead of this value here, take away that value. Then I can have this as a control here, so I can just copy this one, Shift D. Now I have two groups and I can have different values in these and subtract them from each other. So Shift A, converter, math, put that in here and subtract, and then I can play with it like this and get really nice stuff out from it. So power node, remember that one. It's really versatile. You can use it for contrast, you can shape stuff with it very easily and so on. So hopefully you learned something today as well. I say bye for now and see you later.